Hi guys, Martin here and welcome to this video. Quite an exciting video from my point of view because I'm going to show you around the new store in the shell that it is at the moment. I'm obviously stood in there at the moment with a bare plaster wall behind me, but that'll all come up in just a couple of minutes. For those of you who don't know, all your Kickstarter backers, obviously you'll have had the message explaining the big blow. People who know me personally or chat to me through Facebook will know the news. And at that point, I thank every one of you for all your nice comments that you've given and all the positive thoughts and the encouragement. And basically, I had a kick in the nuts. I had the wind pulled out, for whatever the expression are, rug from under my feet. Everything was ready, my money was there, the orders were ready to go, everything was sorted. And the NatWest, who I will hate for entirety now. Never been a fan of NatWest anyway, I dislike them even more now. They own the building that Wargames was going to be in. This is the building that everything was designed around, and I mean literally everything. It started with the building and then I designed the business around it. It's about 40-50 doors that way, probably not even that many doors, but house numbers that way. And NatWest decided at the 11th hour that they don't want to lease the building anymore, they want to sell it. They want to sell it for £400,000 or £500,000, which I haven't got, and no mortgage company in their right mind is going to give me that. I even asked NatWest for it. I said, well, you want to sell it? I'll buy it off you. I'll buy it off you for a rental price. I've got no capital up front, and they told me very quickly where to go. And that's banks for you. There's nothing you can do. So I had to go on the hunt, find another building. Now, when I say that everything was designed around that building, actually, the building I'm stood in was the first place that I looked at, and this is what made me think of using the high street. I'm sorry I keep looking out there. People are looking in through the window because I'm filming. I'll show you outside in a minute. But yeah, this is the building that made me think about it, and I went off it for a few different reasons, and when I found the other place I was like, wow, this is fantastic, it's ready to go, blah 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 blah. I've now come back to this one after searching for a few. This is the one I've come to, and actually I've now settled my mind. There are certain things that are better than it. I can get fibre optic broadband in this one. 200-300 foot down the road, I can't get fibre optic broadband. So I can have 76 meg download here, or I can have 16 meg download a couple of doors down. Go figure. I don't understand why that is, but I'm happier with this. I've got plumbing downstairs round by where I'm going to have the till area for the coffee machine. There are things that are just sitting better with me. It just took me a week or so. It's supposed to get my mind around because I put so much time and determination into that other building, and it's hard to let go of that sometimes. But I did. I let go of it. I've moved on, and this is the building I'm in. So, what's going to happen? I'm going to get very mucky, very dirty, do a lot of work. Anybody that wants to help, you will hear me several times throughout this video probably ask for your help and ask for any input that you guys can give me. This is a learning curve for me, and it's a store for all of us, so your help's appreciated. I'm going to go outside, show you from the outside of the building. We'll walk right through the building, then we'll go upstairs into the tournament halls. I'll show you around, and then you'll tell me what you think in the comments. You might have ideas, and you know what, even if you think it's a silly idea, just throw the idea at me. Either pop it in the comments or email to me at martin@wargamesuk.co.uk. Link will be in the description anyway. Click on that, send me an email, drop the comments, because now's the time to put the ideas in. There might be something really good that I've just not thought of. The worst thing I can say to you is, oh no, I've not got the space for that, or I've not got the funds for that, or actually I don't need that. But ideas are important to me. Let's make this a store that everybody on this channel is going to love for the future, because you're going to see lots of it. You're going to see lots of it on YouTube through the battle reports and such and such. But anyway, without further ado, let's crack on and get outside. Hiya folks, so here it is, very noisy Lord Street at the moment, which is a good thing for me because obviously it means we're on the high street. Take a look around. So busy high street in Southport, the main high street through the town centre, and it's kind of, I suppose you could split Lord Street into three sections. There's a middle and then a left and a right. The left and the right are quieter areas, but literally just where you can see Waterstones on the end there, turn up there and that's where you've got all Funland and all the amusement arcades, access to the promenade. It's literally just behind us. So footfall, as you can see, this is just a random Tuesday afternoon, and the street's quite busy. It's not Liverpool city centre, it's not Manchester city centre, but then it doesn't cost that sort of money or have that sort of theft rate either. So this is going to be the building that we're going to be going into. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. We've got a lot of cleaning and tidying to do, but it goes right the way up, back up there. I'm straining my neck. So let's go in and have a nosy through. It's all dark at the moment. There's no lights on, so I'm going to be limited to what I suppose I can show you. Again, more cleaning to do. The temptation was to take this area out and actually bring the door right the way across. Just gives me a tiny bit more space in the store, but this way I've got disabled access, and the cost involved in taking the frame out probably wouldn't be all that expensive, but just to add a door frame into there means I probably have to replace that side, and I think the cost is too much for what I'd gain in this square footage. So I probably won't do it. I'll get some quotes and see what happens. And literally it's a shell at the moment, so a lot of work to do. And I say it's quite dark, so I don't know how well this camera is going to pick up for you. But I've promised you for a long time a walk around of the store, and obviously with the bad news on the last store, I'm kind of glad I never showed you around that one, because it was a dream that's not going to happen. Whereas this one is very much happening now. This will be war games unless something drastic happens. Fingers crossed it doesn't. So you can just about make out the lights just penetrating right through to the back there. It's huge. Yeah, let's walk through what my ideas are. So in this area, this is where the chill out area is now going to be, with couches and tables. There'll be glass cabinets along these walls, and in the corners I'll have rotating cabinets so you can see from both sides. Couches and tables throughout this area, and that'll serve the role-playing games, the card games, and also board games, and people who just want to sit and chat. Possibly put a little bench area there, so it's like a bar stool area, maybe with a PC or two, so people got access to the computers. That wall's obviously all going to be plasterboarded and plastered. And I've got a great idea for that wall. It doesn't need stock on it, so it needs a big picture. And I have an idea that Clayton definitely will be happy with. Anyway, so walking through, getting darker, and this ultimately will be the kiosk area, the till area. So I'm going to build it into this section so that I've got space behind for everything that I need, office equipment wise, all the spray cans, all the craft knives, everything that can't really be on the shop floor will all be kind of in this area. Plus then I'll have the coffee machine will be over there, because I've got plumbing there, which I didn't have in the other buildings, so that's a good thing. So I can have the coffee machine plumbed in, I have the fridge and the snacks, so it's all near to the till. I've got access to it all, but people can still get there as well. And obviously these support pillars will all be painted up. Light's really starting to fail me. Let me see if I can put the light on. I'm going to pause and we'll either come back with some light or we won't. Right, there you go, we've got some light. Don't know how different that's going to make. The ceilings are really high on this one. The other building had mezzanine levels, so the ceilings were just a normal, like sort of that height, and the floor was broken into 3. Ultimately, this is the same square footage as the other building. It's actually the same building, it's just laid out differently. So I haven't physically got as much floor space because I've got the higher ceilings and not got the mezzanines. But to be fair, I was just filling space in the other one. The more I thought about it, went through, obviously fire escape door, through to the bins. And in this area where I'm walking down now, step going up, which I quite like that. It steps up into a few levels, so it just gives a different gradient to it. But this is all going to be retail space right down these walls. So you're going to have all your stuff down there. GW probably right down this wall, everything else down here. And then through the middle, we're going to have all the demonstration tables. I've measured out and I can get 15 to 20 tables depending on the sizes that I put in, which is fantastic. Bit of a strange concrete slab step there, and I can't take it out because it's a listed building. It's something to do with an old fireplace, I believe. So there'll be a table over that, I would imagine, because it's a trip hazard, and I don't want people tripping up. So step into the back, and then obviously that door is another fire escape straight out into the back. What I have lost is car parking space. So I'm sorry to everybody that I promised car parking to, but I just I was fortunate to get it with the other building. It's one of the only places on Lord Street with it. But I suppose if you travel to a town centre, you expect to pay for parking. And anyone who's coming late night, sort of from 6 p.m. through till 11:30 p.m. through the week, parking's free in Southport after 6. Go through there. There's not much to show you, but down here is the basement where anyone who misbehaves in the shop's going to get sent down here. But literally that goes, it stinks. It's a very wet basement, so I won't be using it. I won't be putting anything down here. That door's just going to be locked and kept away. But it does literally, as I say, go right under the building. Maybe if money ever permits, then I might one day, I might do something with it. But I think the ceiling's too low anyway for it to be fully used. And then back up into this room, and we've got this little area here. Now it's not the biggest area in the world. And I was thinking, oh, it could be a fantastic table though. It could be like a top table area. But then I was like, well, where am I putting the hobby area? So what's going to happen is along that wall, and back along that wall, it's going to be a worktop. And I think I can get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stools and workstations for people to build and paint. Now you go into a games workshop, a typical games workshop has 4 to 6 stations. I'm going to have 10. It's not the 25 I was going to have in the other, but again, let's be honest, how often was I going to fill that 25? And that's it for the ground floor, guys. So this is the retail space. You need a lot of vision, which thankfully I've got, and it's all doable. There's just a lot more work involved because these walls are bare. There's a lot of plasterboard and plastering that needs doing. But in a better sense, everything's contained on the one floor, so I can see from my kiosk area, I can see what's going on. And that's it. So I'll be back in 2 seconds and I'll show you the tournament floors. Right, so we're going up the stairs. Again, these all the walls need plastering only up to the top, and then it's a completely different building in a minute. And that's going to be a bit of a nightmare. I'm going to have to either try and find a piece the same as that or box it all in with box plasterboard, but then I've got to go right around the whole building. So I'd imagine it's cheaper to find a mould of that, but I don't know how cheap that is. Whilst I'm talking and I'm walking up the stairs, guys, if any of you have got any contacts for any of the things that I'm going to need to put in here where you can get me it cheaper than I'm just going to get it, find me up, get in touch. If any of you are plasterers and fancy doing either a free or really cheap job for me and coming up to Southport, then I'd gladly take your services, because it's not going to be cheap setting the building up. I've added a lot of cost by moving into this from the other one. But anyway, so we walk up into our first tournament floor, and it's a nice big space. Fireplace, it's got to stay because it's, as I've already said, it's a listed building, but nice bright room. And in here there'll be tables coming out from the different sections. So we'll have all the 6 foot by 4 foot tables, which is enough for any game that we're going to play. And it'll also accommodate then obviously the smaller games on the 3x3 tables like X-Wing, Batman, Malifaux. Walk through to here into the second part of the tournament floor, where again another huge big space for plenty more tables. Same sort of script as the back one, more nice big windows, possibly again depending on price, possibly replace them for non-frosted windows, although the view out there is just a wall, so I don't see much point. And then these 2 rooms are in effect storage rooms. I've not put the light on, so it's not really showing much in there I suppose, but let's just turn that off a second. That one will probably be some sort of office / storage room. All my stock's going to be out on display, but there are things that I'm going to need to put away, cardboard boxes, things that can't be on display. And then this room will make most of you happy. It's only a very small room. That's all it is, just a little small room. And on here, I'm going to have a key code lock with a retinal eye scanner and a thumbprint recognizer, because that's where all the booze is going to be held. And I'm going to get that refrigerated, that room, or put fridges in there so that for the late night openings and for the tournaments when I'm selling alcohol. That's where in effect it'll be, because it'll be served up here. There'll never be alcohol on the retail floor for obvious, well, hopefully obvious reasons. Come down through this door and this is where all the toilets are. So we've got one toilet, and two toilets. We then come into two sinks and two more toilets. You can tell it used to be a restaurant, so people needing the loo. And then the gents' toilets. We've got another two sinks, two urinals and a toilet. So there is plenty and plenty of space for people to relieve their coffee and beer. Out into the back is a dirty old fire escape, and that's all we need to say about that. So then coming back down here, there's no electricity in the building at the moment, so hence why the lights aren't on up here. But all the walls up here are all in great condition. Lights are already in, which is good. A little bit of damage to the ceiling there that you can see, but nothing that's not fixable. Only looks a little damp. I'll be able to do something with that. We go up to the next tournament floor. And this is how I get my 50 tables. All these stairs will be covered and made to look nice. This will all be repainted, it's a bit brighter. And then again, painted up here and tidied up. Dirty big bit of plasterboard come away up there, so that'll be repaired. I've actually spoken with the landlords and said, obviously, there's a certain amount of work needs doing, so they're going to contribute either a chunk of cash to do the job, or they're going to give me reduction in rent. But again, another big space for quite a few more tables up here, tournament play tables, so they don't need to be laid out as spaciously as what the retail tables are. Come round, space for another table up there, and then there's ladders into a little cupboard which I've not been up to because I'm petrified of ladders, so I'm not going up there. Simple fact. and then this. There's a big space out the back. Now if you look at that patch of weed and damp there, I think that is the one that I've just showed you from the floor underneath, so obviously that needs peeling up and checking. And I've been out on here, takes my weight. Would I be letting people go out on there as a smoking terrace? I don't think so. I really don't think so. But I just don't think it's safe enough, and I'd have to put all sorts of railings up and everything. So, but I just thought I'd show you. Whilst I'm showing you the building, I'll show you all of it. And that's it though, guys. So it's big. It really, really is big. Knocking on the door of 5,500 square feet all in. You can probably hear from my voice I'm a little bit out of breath, trying to walk around. But I don't mind. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be bloody hard work. And as I say, anybody that wants to help me with the work, or knows contacts, everybody knows somebody, so anybody that can help me out, then I'll put a list in the description below actually of everything that I'm trying to source and what I'm after. But it's simple things like obviously a plasterer, or plasterers, because it's a big job. Electrics I'm sorted for, plumbing I'm sorted for, CCTV I'm pretty much sorted for. That kind of thing's more right. To be fair, structural wise, it's plastering and those cornices, or whatever they're called, that I need to take care of, and then I'll probably just pull that down. To be fair, that piece there, I don't know what it is. Pull it down, plaster it, I don't know. It'll get measured up and put in the plans. And let me know what you think about the doors, guys. Do I need to be looking at this and taking this run of doors, windows out, because obviously that's only a false ceiling there. I could take that out and I could extend right across there, put some nice new, they're only aluminium frames, single glazing, so I could put a nice new strip across there, which could be a good idea. But again, it's cost, and I don't know what the cost is, so anybody wants to give me a free shop front window, fantastic. I need signs from the outside. You can see the two pegs hanging down there. I need a hanging sign, similar to Cafe Nero's. I then need a sign across the top, two of those. I've got quotes in for all these, but now's the time to ask you guys. If anybody is in that business or know somebody that's in that business, I'd sooner pay it forward. I'd sooner give it to people who I have a connection with. As long as the cost is right, I'm fine with that. Other things to ask you at the end of this video. Obviously I need a whole lot of stools, a whole lot of tables, a whole lot of dining tables and sofas, glass cabinets. I can source all these things locally in the UK at varying prices. But I found a site called Alibaba, which is Chinese manufacturers who do wholesale distribution, and I can get them all at a fraction of the cost. i.e. a stool in the UK that I've looked at is $39.99 for one stool. I need 100 of them. And I can get them for $15 a stool. So it's about like £8 or £9 a stool from China. But then I have to pay, because they're only free on board, FOB it's called. So then I have to pay costs to bring them over on the boat. And that costs like another £1,700. Now if I buy enough stuff, if I get all my Slatwall, all my stools, all my tables and chairs, all my sofas, all my glass cabinets, then that might be a cheaper option, doing it that way. But I don't understand it, and I'm researching at the moment, so any help would really be appreciated on that, guys. But listen, this video's gone on for plenty long enough. Here is your look of the shop. I hope you like it. It's going to be different when it's done. I will take photos / videos as the work's going on. If I can figure a way out of doing it cheap enough, I'll set a camera up and do like a time lapse of the fit out, although I don't know how feasible that really is. But I'll take photos so you'll see the before and after. We'll do like a changing rooms or house renovation type style video before and after with Claire Sweeney. And yeah, all looking good. Let me know what you think, guys. I've rambled on as always, and sirens going past, so I'll have to get used to that. But yeah, comments below, like and share the video, and let me know your thoughts. See you soon.